If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time.
So throughout the history of hip-hop, there have always been a few people you never want to end up beefing with. While most artists keep their issues locked inside the music or handled quietly behind the scenes, some take a loud, public, right-in-your-face approach, almost like they enjoy watching their enemies fall apart in real time. And that's exactly where 50 Cent comes into play. Most of you already know he single-handedly shut down Ja Rule's career right at its peak, so badly that getting Ja Rule became slang for when a rapper gets completely wiped out in a battle. That alone puts 50 in a category most artists don't ever want to test. He's even gone so far as to air out his own family issues, dissing his son during their fallout by calling him a crybaby bum who was looking for a handout. That's how far 50 is willing to go when lines get crossed. But now 50 Cent has landed what might be his final and most calculated strike yet, aimed at possibly the most powerful opponent he's ever faced, and one he's been playing the long game against for years. Sean Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Puff Daddy. Why is Sean Combs, a man who once stood as one of the most powerful black business moguls in America, now one of the most talked about figures of the past year after a stunning fall from grace?
Now, you called Puff Daddy a soft nigga in one of your songs, N-I-G-G-A, in one of your songs, but you're sorry you did that now, huh?
Well, I'm not sorry because I meant it when I said it.
Now, plenty of people have tried to tell the story of Sean Combs' downfall, from surviving Diddy to countless documentaries, exposing the lies, the betrayal, the drugs, and yes, even the baby oil. But most of those stories barely scratch the surface. None have hit harder or reached more people than the recent 4-part Netflix series Executive, produced by 50 Cent himself. Sean Combs. The Reckoning pulled the curtain back in a way we've never seen before. And if you want more deep dives like this, breaking down hip-hop's biggest power plays and scandals, make sure you subscribe to the channel now, because this story is only just getting started. I've got to say it straight up, this all-encompassing documentary is one of the strongest I've seen in a long time. The way it builds the story across decades, then keeps snapping back to the present day, makes everything hit harder and feel way more real. But before we break all that down, we need to rewind the clock and really look at how the long-running beef between these two even started. Because this tension didn't pop up overnight, it's been simmering for years.
Now, what about any beefs going on right now that we need to jump on?
I'm not paying attention to none of them. Oh, no more puffy juice. No more puffy juice. That's not really beef, though. That's just competitive energy.
Competitiveness.
All right, so you and Diddy, you and Puff cool?
No, I don't really rock with him
okay,
like that.
damn, all right.
Right from the jump, 50 Cent came into the industry swinging at everybody, and that included Sean Combs. Back in 1999 on his song How to Rob, 50 was already firing shots across the whole rap game, making it clear he wasn't here to play nice. By the year 2000, 50 Cent would actually cross paths with Sean Combs in person, and this is where things get interesting. According to 50, this is when he was ghostwriting for Puff, a claim that's been confirmed multiple times over the years. One of the most famous confirmations came from Def Jam and bad boy rapper Shyne. Now, Shyne has had his own issues with 50, even calling him a federal informant in the past, but back then the dynamic was very different. At that time, 50 was still mostly known in New York, while Shyne was actively working as one of Sean Combs' artists. And 50 claims he even wrote Sean Combs' verse on the song Let's Get It. He revealed this years later on his Guess Who's Back mixtape. On the song Not Like Me, 50 raps, "He'll be like Fitty, you so witty on the dick, like they heard I ghostwrite for P. Diddy," putting that story out there for everyone to hear. And later that same year, 50 went right back at Puff again on the Bad Boys 2 soundtrack, which is wild considering it was produced by Sean Combs himself. On that track, 50 said, "I run the city and I don't dance around like Diddy," making sure nobody missed the message. If you're rocking with this breakdown so far and want the full story as it unfolds, make sure you subscribe to the channel now, because this rivalry only gets deeper from here. Even then, the tension was still more tongue-in-cheek than outright hostile. That changed when 50 Cent started getting strange vibes from Sean Combs, moments that didn't sit right with him at all. Years later, 50 told a story about early in his career when Sean Combs offered to take him shopping, something 50 felt crossed a line and made him uncomfortable.
He said something to me one time, a long time ago, at Chris Lighty's wedding. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You're gonna make me mess up the wedding.
Oh, that's a nice gesture.
Let me get out of no, dude, take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
By the mid-2000s, 50 Cent was bigger than life. He was a global superstar with 7 #1 hits and over 20 top 10 singles, plus major endorsements rolling in non-stop. On top of that, He was stacking smart business moves left and right. 50 wasn't just a rapper, he was a brand. He launched his own record label, clothing line, and grabbed serious stakes in multiple companies, showing a business mindset few could match at the time. He also had massive appeal and respect, the kind of presence that turned heads the moment he walked into a room. Looking back now, it's easy to see how Sean Combs could feel envious of that aura. Even with his own success, he clearly wanted that same attention and energy 50 commanded effortlessly. By 2005, 50 was a certified heavyweight, with artists lining up to sign to G-Unit. Around that time, he went on The Howard Stern Show and revealed a deal for rapper Mace fell apart after Sean Combs demanded $2 million to release him from Bad Boy, shutting the whole thing down. After that moment, the gloves came all the way off. 50 Cent went nuclear, directly linking Sean Combs to the murder of Biggie, pointing to rumors that insiders had whispered about for years, and claiming the relationship between them wasn't as close as it looked from the outside. From there, it was clear 50 Cent was completely done buying into the Sean Combs image. He put the weight of Biggie's death squarely on him, echoing a long-circulating industry rumor and making it known he wanted no part of the hype machine anymore. Looking back now, 50 was way ahead of the curve, almost 20 years early. While others played along and stayed quiet, 50 was off to the side, sharpening diss tracks and planning long-term payback like a chess player, not a spectator. Their feud even spilled into business, turning into a public war over vodka. Sean Combs pushed Ciroc hard, while 50 launched Effin' Vodka, and repeatedly mocked Ciroc by calling it puffy juice, never missing a chance to clown the competition. 50 even claimed Effin' was the superior drink, saying it was wheat-based, while Sean Combs' vodka was made from grapes, framing it as yet another example of why his brand was built different.
So you bought the company?
No, so I ended up having about almost 10% of it.
And it was sold to Coca-Cola for 100, you made 100 million?
Well, 4.1 billion they actually sold the company for.
Now that we've broken down their long-running clashes over music, business, and those quote-unquote shopping sprees, it's time to get into the real reason 50 has kept non-stop pressure on Sean Combs. This part makes everything hit way closer to home. In recent years, a woman named Daphne Narvaez, also known as Daphne Joy, entered the picture. She and 50 share a child together, his youngest son, Sire Jackson. The two dated for about 2 years between 2011 and 2012, splitting not long after Sire was born, and the relationship itself was rocky from the start. Their breakup came with allegations of domestic abuse and vandalism on 50's side, though the domestic abuse charge was eventually dropped. Fast forward nearly a decade later, and by 2021, Daphne was spotted on romantic getaways with Sean Combs, which immediately set things off. That's when 50 went straight into troll mode. He posted a photo of the pair and captioned it, "Nami and Puff fight over business shit. If he liked the girl, I don't give a fuck." The very next year, he escalated again, posting a photo with his son and writing, "Oh shit, that's your mommy over there with Puffy." Now let's be real. By this point, 50 had been calling Sean Combs out for strange behavior for over 2 decades. So even though he claimed it didn't bother him, anyone would feel a certain way seeing the mother of their child linked up with their longtime arch enemy. And things only got more intense last March when the Sean Combs files dropped. Music producer Rodney Jones filed a sex trafficking lawsuit against Sean Combs, and within that filing, Daphne Joy was named as one of several sex workers allegedly receiving monthly payments from him, turning this feud into something far deeper and far darker, allegedly to recruit people into his ring. And it's important to slow down here for clarity. No one outside of Sean Combs has been charged in this situation, and even he managed to sidestep many of the allegations for years. As of now, he's serving 4 years with time served, but regardless, once this news hit, 50 Cent went right back on the attack like a pit bull finally slipping its leash. 50 didn't hold back at all, blasting Daphne online with the quote, "I didn't know you was a sex worker. You little sex worker, LOL, you're shit a movie. You moved a mile away in hopes of having another baby with me, but I was busy. So you moved back, and then you started receiving money from Brother Love. Now here we are, a little sex worker." He even doubled down publicly, joining Nicki Minaj on stage and repeating the energy at the end of his set. As all of this played out in real time, 50 took things a step further and filed for sole custody of their son. He claimed Daphne was involved in so-called freak-offs, creating an unsafe environment for their child. Daphne fired back hard, saying he was full of absolute shit and completely denying any allegations of prostitution. And this, right here, is why many believe 50 wanted to see Sean Combs behind bars more than anyone else. This wasn't just industry beef anymore. It was personal, emotional, and fueled by years of built-up resentment, all of which pushed 50 to help bring the Sean Combs The Reckoning documentary to life. That documentary exposed Sean Combs to more people than ever before, pulling the curtain back on his alleged narcissistic and backstabbing behavior in a way the average viewer could finally understand. It didn't just spark headlines, it changed how the public saw him. It also helped bring forward voices that likely would have stayed silent otherwise. A lot of those sources needed that 50 Cent cosign to feel protected enough to speak. And once that door opened, the story started flowing. For years, people heard jokes about baby oil and alleged freak-offs, but they never fully grasped the accusations tied to how Sean Combs allegedly built and protected his power over the last 3 decades. According to the documentary, it wasn't just rumors. It was a pattern of behavior that left a long trail of people burned. What makes it even more damning is who was allegedly caught in that fallout, including Biggie, the person many believed was his closest friend. That part hits different because crossing an enemy is one thing, but allegedly turning on your top talent and best friend is on another level entirely. To then publicly perform grief, celebrating, dancing, and putting on a show, while allegedly being responsible for placing that friend in danger after fueling an East Coast versus West Coast war, is what truly made people question everything. Even the massive funeral, which was allegedly paid for using Biggie's estate, painted a picture of someone focused more on optics than accountability. 50 Cent also spent time connecting the dots on how Sean Combs allegedly used women as leverage against people he didn't like. According to the claims, girlfriends, partners, and families were treated like chess pieces, all part of a power game that left lasting damage in its wake. Sean Combs is the ultimate case study of what happens when a narcissist goes unchecked for an entire lifetime. At one point in the documentary, he even compares himself to Jesus Christ, and that alone tells you how far gone the ego had become. What's even crazier is how confident he was behind the scenes. He filmed himself in the days leading up to his trial, fully convinced he would skate past everything, and later drop his own edited project to tell the world, "I told you so." Instead of a comeback, it turned into a full-on reckoning for what was left of his reputation. I still don't know how Netflix got their hands on that footage, but it paints Sean Combs in a way that's impossible to ignore, and honestly hard to watch. I genuinely recommend the 4-part series to anyone who hasn't seen it yet. Even if you didn't know much about Sean Combs' rise, it breaks down a full 3-decade timeline clearly and hits every major turning point. And by the end, one thing is beyond obvious. 50 Cent is not someone anyone wants to have beef with. Once you're on his bad side, you're in his crosshairs for life. If you made it this far, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share it with someone who follows hip-hop culture, and drop a comment with your thoughts below. Your support keeps these deep dives coming. There are plenty more industry stories, rivalries, and moments that still need to be covered, and trust me, we're just getting started. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and I'm out. Peace.